Okay, so welcome everyone to Trent University's virtual winter open house. We're excited to welcome you all to the Careerspace session. My name is Michael and I'm going to be the moderator of this session. And with me today, I have Hannah, who's going to be giving a presentation on everything that Careerspace does, and Marlene, who will be talking about her experience. So we're excited about the path that you have ahead of you, and we're looking forward to sharing all of the reasons why Trent has been ranked the #1 undergraduate university in Ontario for 11 consecutive years. During this session, you can ask questions, so please add them to the chat as the session goes on, and at the end we will have a brief question and answer period where we'll be able to get to all of those questions for you. Well, we'll try to get to all of them. We'll get as many as we can. And the presentation is also being offered with closed captioning. So down at the bottom of your screen, you will see a live transcript button. If you wanted to click that, you can turn on show subtitles. And back on the events page, you will see a list of a few live chats. So if you have any other questions that don't get answered here today, you can always pop into one of the chats that makes sense for you, or you can ask a question to the chat bot that's going to be functioning there, and they will get an answer for you. So with that, I'm just going to pass everything over to Hannah here.
Thank you, Mike. Welcome, everyone. So glad to see you all here today. My name is Hannah, and I'm a career resource advisor with Careerspace. So I am really excited to tell you about all of our services and supports that we have available for students at Trent when it comes to your career development and finding experiential learning opportunities on campus. So experiential learning is a really wonderful way that Trent is able to help you prepare for your future career by getting hands-on experience. And at Trent, there is a really large emphasis on ensuring that all students have the opportunity to have access to experiential learning throughout your studies at Trent. So there are many, many opportunities for you to get experience while you are studying to make sure that you're prepared for your career when you graduate. And I have had firsthand experience with that as well. And I'm really excited to share with you all those different opportunities today. So I wanted to just show you that there are many different types of experiential learning, and some have the misconception that co-op is kind of an all-encompassing term that explains all types of experiential learning, but this is just one type. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone has an understanding of all of these different types of opportunities at Trent. So starting with co-op education, co-op consists of academic terms and paid work terms. And the work terms provide experience in a workplace setting that's related to your field of study. And this work experience is not for academic, but it is full-time and it's paid. So we'll get to that a little bit later on and what that could look like in a 4-year degree for you. We also have internships. So this is for our accounting program. And students gain program-related experience in a professional work environment for at least 1 semester full-time. And this supervised work experience is completed for academic credit, and it can be paid or unpaid as well. Next, we have field placement. So many of our programs offer a placement opportunity. So this is a part-time and short-term experience that students can take part in for academic credit, and it's generally unpaid and usually is less than 10 hours per week in a setting that's relevant to your subject of study. Next, I want to just talk to you about our community and industry engaged projects. So in these projects, students can help to identify issues or opportunities and help to find solutions to community or global issues, and engage in research and work with community partners and faculty on projects that can really make a difference. So for example, right now, a student is researching the needs of individuals seeking employment post-incarceration. So we have a wonderful celebration of research coming up where all of these great projects are going to be presented as well. Next, we have community service learning. So in this, students participate in community service to help address community needs or global issues as well. And this involves classroom instruction as well as critical reflection. And then finally, we have as well professional practicums. So these are for professional programs at Trent that require licensing or registration, such as social work, nursing, or education. And in practicums, students integrate their classroom knowledge with on-the-job training. So this is a really great opportunity to prepare you for that professional career. Okay, so all of these opportunities are not just offered at the Trent campus, they're also offered in Durham as well. So for example, in our Durham campus, we have placements in School of Business, with Child and Youth Studies, in social work, and in Masters of Management as well, just to name a few. So this is something that I'm really excited about. 100% of programs at Trent offer courses with hands-on career experiences. So no matter what program or discipline you are in at Trent, you will have the opportunity to have a hands-on learning experience. Last year, 88% of students completed an experiential learning opportunity by the time they graduated. So Trent students are taking advantage of these opportunities. And I can, speak for this as well. I personally chose Trent because of a really amazing experiential learning opportunity. I actually traveled to Ecuador for a year of study and took part in a placement as well. So that was one of the most impactful experiences of my life, not just of education. And I got to really see some of the things that I was learning in action, and take part in some really amazing community research and projects there as well. So Trent offers a number of co-op programs. And in co-op, students obtain 12 months of practical experience on the job, develop and enhance their technical and soft skills. They can explore their career options, see what different things they can do with their degrees, start to build their network, and start to build their resume as well. So here you'll see a list of our currently offered co-op programs. And some of these have been very recently added to the list. So this is a big project that Careerspace is working on right now that we're really excited about. We are going to be offering even more co-op opportunities for students as well. So for these programs, there's an option for a co-op. There is a co-op stream that you can take part in. And so if you at your time of application didn't see this option, it's because it's very new. So this is something that we're working on right now. So with that in mind, here is another list of co-op programs that are in their very final stages of being approved. So these are just about to be posted on UAC as well. So again, all of these programs will have a co-op stream option. So I just wanted to show you what a co-op could look like for you. So for our humanities and social sciences co-op, this is a schedule of what this would look like. So the program completion is still 4 years. So I know that, sometimes it takes longer than 4 years to have that co-op option, but at Trent for these wonderful programs, the social sciences and humanities, this is how you can complete your program in 4 years. So you'll see here that there are some alternating study and work terms. So in your first year, you complete all study terms, including the summer. And then starting in your second year, you would take a course put on by Careerspace to help you prepare for your co-op. And then you would start off with a work term. Then you would have a study term in the winter of your second year, your second work term in the summer of your second year. And then your final work term would take place in the summer of your third year. And then again, you would finish with your classmates of your program as well and complete that at the end of your fourth year. So this, co-ops take 3 paid work terms, and that equals 12 months of on-the-job experience. There is direct entry for these programs, so you can apply directly through UAC. And there is a competitive entry, so you do need a minimum 80% average to apply. And these work placements take place locally across Ontario, Canada, and internationally as well. So if you have already applied to Trent and you're interested in one of these co-op streams, Mike is going to share some information with you in the chat as well, if he hasn't already, and how you can go about applying to that co-op option. Trent also offers a number of placements and practicums, as I mentioned earlier. So these are the programs that offer those placement and practicum options. So that includes forensic science, School of Business, biomedical science, School of the Environment, political science, chemistry, child and youth studies, School of Education, nursing, and social work. So we're very fortunate to have with us today Marlene Hull, and Marlene completed a placement in conservation biology. So we have Marlene here with us to share a little bit about her experience. So thanks, Marlene, and I will pass it over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Marlene. I'm in the final year of my undergraduate degree at Trent. I'm pursuing a joint major, Bachelor of Science in Biology and Environmental Resource Science with a specialization in conservation biology. It's a lot of mouthful. As a condition of my specialization, I'm currently completing a 144-hour placement with the Ministry of Environment, Conservation, and Parks. The placement runs from September to April as a full credit course. The focus is on experiential learning and real world experience with a recognized conservation organization or intergovernmental agency. During my placement, I've been fortunate to participate in environment meetings, receive specialized training in bear management, as well as animal protocols. And I'm also assisting with ongoing restoration of a tallgrass prairie reserve, of which less than 3% remain in the province. As a Trent student, placements provide an opportunity to gain experience in the environmental sector while also networking with professionals in the industry. And honestly, like I've already received 3 full-time job offers, one from MECP as an assistant ecologist for the province of Ontario, as well as a full-time job offer in Calgary as a intermediate biologist. So I'm psyched, and I'm sure my parents are too. After 4 years of university, they'll see the fruits of my labor, but I am super grateful to Trent and Careerspace and all of the amazing, just great programs we have at Trent that have basically given me the tools to fill my toolbox, and now it's paying off.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Marlene. I think you're such a great example of all of the opportunities that are available to students. I know you've really gotten engaged with your extracurriculars as well, and you've had student jobs on campus, and you really worked to build your experience, and obviously it's paying off. So thanks so much for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
So in addition to those opportunities that we've talked about already for experiential learning, there are also other ways to get experience on campus. So Careerspace provides an authentic outlook on the career landscape by providing Trent students and alumni with meaningful experiences, perspectives, and valuable resources. So we're actually the #2 university in Ontario for experiential learning. And 93% of Trent grads are employed within 6 months after graduation. So these are a few more ways that students can get experience while they're at Trent. So we have on-campus employment. So for example, students can get involved with a position like being a college ambassador, a research assistant, positions with athletics, working for the student newspaper, campus tours of the alumni office, and of course, with Careerspace, we have lots of student staff working with us, which we are so grateful for. Careerspace also offers a number of events every year. So we also put on career expos every winter. We offer a volunteer fair in the fall. We also work with graduate studies at Trent and also at other schools to provide students with options for further education. So we really want to make sure that students have all of the information, options, and opportunities to make connections on campus as well. And we also have a student and alumni job board. So our student experience portal is kind of your one-stop shop for experiences and everything Careerspace, in addition to our website, of course. And on the student experience portal, you will get access to the job board. So actually, sometime in the summer is when you would get access to that. I believe it's in July, so you can even start looking at opportunities early on. So those would include on-campus opportunities, off-campus opportunities with our employer partners, as well as volunteer opportunities and more. Careerspace also offers support for you while you're a student and after you graduate as well. So we can help you answer questions like, what can I do with my degree? What are my education options? How do I find a job? How do I build a resume? How do I get experience? What is experiential learning? We can do a review of all these opportunities with you as well. So I think that Mike popped in the chat as well, our What Can I Do With My Degree page on our website. And this is a really popular page for students who are wondering what they can do after they graduate. So we offer lots of one-to-one support options for students as well. We have all of these different types of appointments available to you as a student and after you graduate. We offer career counseling and career talk. So if you need some quick tips for job search, or what kind of opportunities are available to me, or if you want to do some further in-depth conversation with our career counselor for what kind of job would be a good fit for me based on my skill set, we have a wonderful counselor who's there to support you. We also offer resume and cover letter critiques, LinkedIn profile reviews, and interview preparation, mock interviews, and things like that too. So in addition to all of our one-on-one services, we also offer a number of workshops online and in person, and those are offered to all Trent students and also in class. So you might see us, for example, in your placement preparation class to help you get ready to apply for a placement. Okay, so this brings us to our question period. So I'll hand it back over to you, Mike. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Thank you for the presentation. So at this time, we are going to move into the question and answer period, but I do also want to emphasize, if your question doesn't get answered during this session, please do email us at experiential@trentu.ca, and we will have our team look at your question and connect you with the best resources available for you. Just quickly here. So we are going to do our best to get to everybody's questions, but we will be focusing on questions related to Careerspace. There are a lot of other opportunities for you to connect with other staff at the university today. And all of these sessions will be pre-recorded, so they can be put on the website afterwards if you do miss anything and you want to come back and revisit these. So there are a few questions here that were pretty good questions. Actually, Greg asked a great question about the average required to be in co-op. There is an average required in order to stay in the co-op program. It is 75%. So it is encouraged that students try their hardest to get their grades up for that. And let's see here. And Kevin, our director, is here as well. He's been answering a lot of the questions in the chat for everyone who's been asking. So Grace and Laura also asked about transferring into the co-op program after you've already completed the first year. And that is possible, so long as there is still room in the co-op program, you can definitely do that. And they also asked what kind of supports are being offered to students that are trying to get in connections with these co-op employers. And we do actually have quite a bit of support for them. I'm going to pull up a list here, actually. So we have a database of co-op placements that students can use to connect with employers. And if the student already has a workplace that they are looking to connect with, they can tell us who the employer is, and then we can evaluate the agency and make sure that they're going to be delivering an appropriate experience for the student that adheres to the co-op's requirements. We have had students with a wide range of employers. We've had students working with Google, Lockheed Martin, the Peterborough Regional Health Center, and with Stats Canada. I actually am going to post a list in chat here. There's some of the great employers that have been hosting co-op programs. There you go, if you wanted to have a look there in the chat. All right, if anybody else wanted to add some questions in here, we can get those answered as well. It looks like Kevin has already been answering quite a bit of them.
Marlene.
I just wanted to also reiterate for students that we understand that coming in, you're probably going to be a little bit overwhelmed. So outside of academics, there's lots of other ways to get involved. Volunteering experience is how I got started. Volunteering, this year I volunteered with Animal Care for Trent, working with the lab animals. Last year I worked with the Ontario Turtle Trauma Center, which is now the Ontario Turtle Conservation here in Peterborough. Literally I just walk up straight up Chemong Road and I do 4 hours of volunteering where I get to touch these cute little itty bitty turtles. I get to clean tanks, and it's a great way to get hands-on experience. And like this last year, they sent me 4 emails just loaded with jobs because they're now looking for people that have turtle handling skills because you volunteered with them. They want you to help them transport these turtles because now, after being cared for in Turtle Trauma Center, they're now being re-released into the wild. That's an amazing opportunity. Whether you're in science or you could be in BBA, but you really like the environment and you just want to contribute, then I would start with volunteering. And there's amazing opportunities on campus as well. I started with the Impact Leadership Program, where we actually did a 25-hour placement in the Peterborough community. I did it with Green Up and Ecology Park. Other friends of mine did the Canadian Immigration Center, the warm-up room. So separate from academics, if you're just feeling a little bit too overwhelmed or you're not ready to go there yet, there's lots of other ways through clubs and groups to get involved and get some hands-on experience. And then, you'll come from a better place the next year when you want to go into your co-op, placement, internship, whatever you want to call it. So by all means, Trent just offers so much flexibility. Again, why I love that campus. And as Hannah said, I just kind of threw myself into everything because you're just always welcome. And there's always someone trying to help you succeed.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Marlene.
Yes, that was great. Hannah, actually, we have a question here in chat about what placement and practicums are. Would you be able to return to that slide and just go a little bit more into that?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Back to the first slide with all the types. Yeah, for sure. So I can let you know again about those definitions. So placements are usually part-time and usually less than 10 hours per week. They are for credit. They're supervised. They will be in a setting that's relevant to your field of study. And they're, again, for academic credit. And then the other question was about practicums. Yes, there's a key difference here. The practicums are for professional programs, usually requiring licensing or registration. So that includes programs like social work, nursing, education. So this again is a chance to kind of integrate both are a chance to integrate your in-class knowledge with hands-on learning. And you're on mute, Mike.
I keep accidentally sitting on my mute button. I have seen quite a few questions about the specifics of which co-ops would be available to different programs. I strongly encourage in that situation to reach out to us by email and we can connect you with the proper information. There's just a little bit too much to go into in the few minutes that we still have left. And I would also like to say that I also did a placement with the local innovation cluster actually in my 4th year when I was graduating from the business program, and I had a wonderful time there doing everything related to my program. And it was very fantastic to just have a class and then put exactly what I was learning into practice and helping develop all of those marketing strategies for a lot of small businesses and startups in the local area.
I also had not just my experience in Ecuador, but throughout my other coursework, I also had a couple of other kind of shorter placements with the Canadian Food Systems class. I worked with a local food organization that was trying to connect farmers with restaurants in the Peterborough community. I also did a small research project with Abbey Gardens to develop a composting program for a condominium complex up in Halliburton. So yeah, these kinds of things were so important on my resume really early on and really helped me to kind of see what type of work I like to do as well. So honestly, I'm really grateful for all that kind of experience that I got to have at Trent. And I think it's really well integrated into a lot of coursework at Trent as well.
So I am also seeing some questions about the application process as well for the UAC. So I'm actually going to post the steps to apply for the co-op programs in the chat again here. And I also saw a question about the residents. So Kevin answered this, but I thought this would be good to share with everyone if they didn't see it in the chat, that the residence office is creating a co-op housing program, which will allow co-op students to live in residence during their summer work terms. And that includes the Durham residents as well, which will assist with placements in the GTA. So it is possible to do co-op and residence at the same time. Here we go. And I'm just going to post the steps for applying to co-op again in chat here. And Marlene and Hannah, if you see any questions in chat that you'd like to speak to, feel free to jump in at any time. There's a lot of questions about the specifics, so I will reiterate, definitely check on UAC, and because there will be more programs that are being posted there in the future. Some of them might not be up now, but they are coming. We have a rapidly expanding co-op program at Trent University, so there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming up in the near future. And if you do have any other specific questions about the logistics, please do email us at Experiential. Unfortunately, it does look like we might not have enough time to answer too much more. So I would also just like to make a quick outro and thank Hannah and Marlene for coming in today and sharing all this information and sharing their experience. And again, this session will be recorded, so it will be posted on the Open House website if you'd like to revisit this. And we are also available if you would like to discuss anything with us. You can always email us at experiential@trentu.ca. And I would also like to invite everyone to come to the campus. We are hosting in-person tours as well as an in-person spring open house. So you can register for that and come in and see the campus. There we go. And there are also many other sessions that are about to start as well. I would also strongly encourage any of the international students who are coming into Trent to take advantage of the international live chat that is happening. So if you have any questions regarding employment, regarding the international program, just quickly, I can also talk, we do in Careerspace offer a lot of support with on-campus employment as well. If you are looking for work while you are here, if you are not taking one of the co-op programs, perhaps you are just studying in the standard stream, you can use the student experience portal to connect with all those jobs. We also have a series of workshops as well. Hannah, did you want to just quickly speak to your workshop series?
Yeah, for sure. So we offer lots of in-class workshops. So you might see me come into your class and talk to you about resumes, cover letters, how to prepare for an interview. Our counselor, Mary, does also lots of workshops for what can I do with my degree. We offer also job search strategies, summer job search workshops, networking. So these are usually hour-long sessions, and then we encourage students to come and book a one-on-one with us afterward if you have, if you want a resume review or you want us to take a look at your LinkedIn profile, things like that as well. And Mike, you jogged my memory about the experiential catalog as well. So again, at some point in the summer, after you have accepted your offer, usually in July, I believe, you'll get access to the student experience portal. So you can start looking for jobs on our student job board. You can also access our experiential catalog, where you'll be able to see all of the curricular, so for credit opportunities that are available to students within different courses. So you can take a look at what you might be interested in as well as our academic calendar as well, of course, but lots of opportunities on there.
I just wanted to quickly answer the question for Grace and Laura in chat about coming in for a tour in March versus in May. In March, you are going to be able to see the school's operations in full swing with a lot of students. But I mean, I will also say Trent has a beautiful campus. And if you come in May, you get to see a lot of everything in bloom. So that is also just a very, very scenic opportunity as well. They're both going to be very informative tours. So they will both cover everything that you'll want to know, but it's more about the environment that'll be surrounding you at that time. And it looks,
absolutely, that was a huge factor for me. I did my tours at a couple of different places, and Trent honestly just felt like home to me. And I'm not just saying that. It's such a beautiful campus.
Yes, it really is. All right, perfect, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I will just reiterate one more time that this session will be recorded and posted onto the main website. If you would like to review it later on, you can always come back to the virtual open house website. I hope everyone has a fantastic time at the rest of the open house, and take care.
Thanks, everyone.